But the dream I had in the 10 minutes, that I knew for sure was premonition because I was definitely told, wake up and record this immediately. You don't have time to write it down, right? So I just like got up, I hit record. I was like, I know I look a hot mess, and I sound a hot mess. But in that dream, I'm fairly certain it's about 47. Fairly certain. It was only in the retelling of the dream while I was on the camera that I was like, wait a second, was that 46? Because I wasn't sure at the end. I was like when I was retelling it. But I'm fairly certain it was 47. So like I said, in that dream, wait, hold on. I'm getting goosebumps. All right, let's do that. Let's figure out who it was. Okay, we're gonna figure out who it was. Alrighty, so let's do that. Let's figure out who this dream was about. I don't want to ask Nyx right now because the setup is weird. So let's see if we can get it out of the cards. If we can't, then we'll go to Nyx. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do, well, let's see if we can do it in a 2-carder. If we can't, we'll go a little bit further. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll do this thing. Okay. Whew, hold on. Let me finish the prayer then, because I gotta make sure it was a little dark, so I gotta make sure the energy is good. Okay, sorry, I had to finish praying. Hey, Andromeda. All right, so we're going to take a look and try to figure out who my dream was about. Was it about 46 or was it about 47? Because for those people who have not yet seen my video on my channel or on my page, I had a dream that it was done. That the person has crossed over. That it was done. Okay, so but like I said, it was in the retelling of the dream where my confusion started happening of, was that 46 or was that 47? But I'm pretty sure it was 47. So we're going to take a look at that first. So right now I'm trying to get a significator card, a card that will represent 46. Please give me a card that represents 46. Just one card, please. One card that will represent 46. Hello. One card, please. You saw it, Andromeda? Seraphina. Like, what did you pick up? Did you pick up anything about it? What about you, Leah? Did you guys pick up anything? All right, can we get a significator? Do you want me to stick with this deck or do you want me to go to the other deck? This deck. Okay, good. Significator. 46. Okay. All right, so this is going to be the significator, what's going to represent 46 right now. So 46 is, and that's, oh, health. Duh. I was like, why is it Pentacles? Pentacles also mean health. So 46 is currently, I guess, learning his health, learning how to navigate his health. So let's do a reading on him. And then we're going to do a reading on the next one. For 46? You know, I'll be like in my cards, so I don't know. I don't remember. I never remember. Oh, that's great. Okay, so that really did represent him. Oh yeah, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Him and his what do you call it? Executive order, being prepared for the future. Okay. So that is him. He's also got another page for him. I got the Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Both of these are in the upright. Okay. All right. That makes sense for them to be both his. So we got 2 pages representing 46. Okay. So we have 2 pages representing 46. We have the Page of Pentacles. We also have the Page of Swords. So, like I said, that makes sense because Pentacles are about health. Swords are about also mental health, like, you know, the things, your intellectual ability. I'm getting this is about his quick wit. And that is also about the planning that he did. Okay. So, since we're talking about his health and we're talking about my dream, all right. So, I don't think he's gone. So we have the 6 of Cups. Now, for us, when we did the 47, we were talking about this being about his dementia. So with 46, I don't feel that is representing the same thing. But it is talking about his challenge to himself. Nostalgia, childhood, innocence, generosity. Okay, so the challenge to that was I'll pull a clarifier after I pull the rest of this. I'll pull the clarifier after I pull the rest of this. What kind of... Let's see. Because I want to clarify on that. Yeah, he also had the Knight's cards, I remember. Hello! All right, so his challenge is 6 of Cups. I gotta sit on that for a second. Ooh, is this the past? Yes. Okay, so in the past, okay, we have 2 of Wands in the past. We'll talk about that in a second. And what is the current energy he's in? What is the current energy he's in? Lord, I hope it's not the Death card. Oh! Yeah. Okay, the current energy he's in is the 6 of Wands. Lack of recognition, right? Yep. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's put that in the current energy. Okay. What is he learning? What's the state of his learning? What has he learned? Oh, okay. This is the Minor Arcana Death card. It's the 5 of Cups. So we're gonna look at that. That's the loss of grief, the disappointments. All right. So what's his outcome? Oops. What's his outcome right now? What's his outcome right now? And then we're gonna dive into the meaning of this reading. I'm just trying to get it out before we spend forever reading. All right. So what is the outcome? What's his outcome? Again, keeping the dream at the forefront. What's his outcome? Was that him? Was that him? What's his outcome? What's his outcome? That's a lot of cards. Can you give me one card, please? What's his outcome? Was that him? got the Queen of Swords in reverse for his outcome. That's interesting. Okay. So first, let me get some clarifiers on the Six of Cups, his challenge of the generosity. Oh, that makes so much sense. I got the Knight of Swords in reverse for his clarifier to that. That I understand that now. All right. And what about for the Queen of Swords, his outcome? What's the clarifier on that? Naivety. Okay. This is outcome. What's his outcome? I don't understand that. I got the Fool in reverse as a clarifier to the Queen of Swords in reverse, and I don't understand that right now. And then I got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's not good outcomes. Okay, so straight up, just give me a yes, no card. Was a dream about him? Yes, no card. Was a dream about him? Hey, Samaria, I think. Was a dream about him? Oh. Well, I got 2 more pages. I got 2 more pages. Okay. The underlying energy is the moon, and it says no. No, it wasn't about him. 1 second. Let me see if I can flip the camera for... I don't know how to flip it for you too. So you guys are in reverse. Okay. This is not working. He has all 4 pages in this reading. So when I asked if it was about him, I got the Page of Cups, but I got it in reverse. And so while the Page of Cups was a yes card, in reverse, I always take it as a no. And then I also got the Page of Wands in reverse. And that's a maybe card. But again, I'm taking that as a no, especially with underlying being the Moon card, which is a no. 4 pages for Horseman. I will tell you though, this is honestly a very confusing reading for me. It seems like he's sitting in like a lot of regret. Like he's not at peace at all with what's happening. And his role in it, not at all. In fact, the major arcanas are showing up in his outcome, and that's the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Fool in reverse. And again, the underlying theme, which was the Moon card. And that's speaking to his subconscious. So he's not at peace at all. However, he's still here. Okay. I mean, he is sick, but it's not the sickness that's the problem for him. Oh gosh, I'm getting so many goosebumps. It's not the sickness that is the problem. All right, let's take a look at this reading. But let's keep in mind when we read it, because I'm being told to keep this part in mind. This is the underlying theme to this reading. And it is the Moon card again. And the key words here on the Moon card is intuition, mystery, illusion, and subconscious. And I feel like he was under the illusion that it would not get this bad, or that things will hold as everybody else was. I'm sensing right now that he and Lady Lotus had a conversation about this, about like it's not going to get that bad, you know, like there are guardrails, there are restrictions, but I don't know how they believe that with 2025 being written down, you know. However, I guess they were expecting, you know, as the Lotus Queen refers to, they weren't expecting people to capitulate that bad, right? That is true. One, we just had the full moon, right? And the full moon is about this full moon in Gemini. Oh, shit, that too. Because he came out and he spoke out against the regime, he did just come out this week and spoke out against the regime around full moon time, where he said, again, to the military, but to the people also, he said, y'all need to fight. It's like, this is not the time to lay down. You better get up and fight. You better fight. You better fight. You better fight. So, and he was very, very adamant about the word fight. So, let's remember that too. Is right around the full moon time, he came out. Oh, there we go with this blinking. Right around the full moon time, he came out with that. But also, like I said, subconsciously and the illusion, those two things are really sticking out to me. But also, what hidden truths or fears are you avoiding? And this was his fear. This was his fear. Kind of one that he wasn't allowing himself to voice. What's happening was his fear. So let's get into the reading. So keep that in mind. So significating, being at the foundation of this reading of like, was that him who's dead? No, it wasn't him who has died in my dream. I do feel like he would follow 47 pretty quickly. But pretty quickly feels a little subjective because I can't figure out if it'd be weeks, months, days. Like, I'm not getting that. I do feel like it might be in 2026 for sure with him too. However, the dream that I had is pretty immediate. So I don't think 47 will see 2026. Entertainment purposes only. I'm just playing with cards. Okay? And talking about a dream. So again, the significator is the foundation for 46 are the pages. He's had to learn a lot, even in his 50 years of being in government. We all got a crash course this year. He's had to learn a lot. And one, he's had to learn how to deal with his health. And two, he's had to learn how to deal with the guilt. He has a lot of guilt on his mind, but also he's had to figure out what it is that he can do. One, as a former president, because remember, they had that decorum stuff, like they couldn't interfere. But 44 was like, F that. My kids got to be here. They got to deal with this. I'm going to speak up for them as a dad, you know? And then, you know, like it took him almost a whole year of recovery and whatever to 46, took him almost a whole year of recovery to finally be well enough to get in front of people to deliver the message he did. And it was very passionate and it was very coherent and none of it was AI. Okay? That part, babies, none of that was AI. All right? That was a real man right there. But the challenge, though, to the things that he's had to learn, also to his own health, also to everything that's here, is the fact that he held on to the rules of how things were supposed to be. This is the 6 of Cups, and so this is dealing with like the nostalgia. This is how government's supposed to work. If he's been around for 50 years, that means he was also here for Nixon, right? And Nixon seems like a cakewalk right now. Reagan feels like a cakewalk right now. Like, all of them feel like we just, you know, doing a two-step compared to the blatant crime mobbery that's happening right now. So that was a challenge, is like believing in these institutions that they would hold, that they would not capitulate, that they would, you know, be standing. And he thought he was passing on a cup, granted, to a little person, a little blonde person who is wearing an orange dress and donned in a red cap, because he's not even MAGA. He's just a leader who created a cult. Talking about 40. I hate calling him 47, so y'all hear my hesitation when I say 47, because he's not supposed to be, you know, entertainment purposes only. This is not misinformation. This is a personal opinion. Okay. So he's like, he's passing it on, but to a little child, to someone who's not ready and who was never ready to lead. it was as difficult for him as it was for 44 to give it to this man who has no right having access to the nuclear codes or to the bank accounts of America. But you think the institutions would stay in place, and they did not. So the clarifier to that is the Knight of Swords, but the word that really stuck out here was lack of direction for me. I mean, the phrase that stuck out here, again, about that nostalgia, about that innocence, is that he didn't know what he could do. Yeah, they both had to hand it to him. Isn't that crazy? But he didn't know what he could do. There was no precedent for this, y'all. Like, people keep saying, oh, we can't erase whatever happened, or we can't do this, or we can't do that. It's like, you can't tell me what we can't do, because we literally have no precedent for what to do when the president is your actual enemy. We have no precedent for that. So he had no direction. Nobody could tell him what to do. No one could figure out what to do. And the energy that I was feeling during that time is they were pouring over everything. What are our options? And they just didn't really have any. Their last option was a corrupt Supreme Court. That was literally their last option, because the Supreme Court could have issued an injunction, and I think they were told no. So that gets to the past. Because in the past, he was looking for those options. In those past, they were searching and searching and searching to try to find what it was that they could do. And in the past, he worked with a president in the past who was very decisive, but also a leader who listened to people's, input, but also, took, direction. In the past, he had a good thing. And in the past with himself, they were making progress. Now, mind you, I still maintain they lied about the economy, because the economy has been shit for the people who live under the stock market. So they did lie about that. And then there were a lot of corporations who were putting out fake jobs. They were putting out jobs, and then they were saying, oh, sorry, we're not hiring. And then they'll put it back out. So corporations were doing their shenanigans. And so there was no real employment growth like it should have been, So that was a real thing. However, he had a lot of shit to clean up, y'all. Can you imagine going into that house after that man the first time, where he completely botched a pandemic? So completely, we lost 1 million people and never had a chance to grieve it. Never had a chance to grieve. Because by the end of that year, we were forced to go back to work. Didn't care if we got sick. Nothing. So they had a lot of decision making to do. They had a lot of, they did have a lot of progress though. I'm not going to lie, they did. It's just, you're dealing with a very corrupt system in government, in corporations. They were just so corrupt. Y'all saw how the housing market went. That was corrupt. The rental market went. That was corrupt, because you had, and his FBI actually discovered this. People were like, he didn't do anything. He has a long list of things that they actually did. He just never said, hey, look at me, I'm so great. He never put his name on everything, But the FBI was actually investigating into these rental companies. And if you recall, because we had started talking about it on TikTok last summer, they had discovered that these rental companies in Texas were bullying everyone else to raise their rents and charge the same prices. So they were doing rent fixing, and they were actually getting in trouble through the FBI. But it never got to finish, because guess what? He had to hand it over to the orange. I won't get mad about you people doing that to us. I just won't. And you hear nothing about the rental agencies anymore. You hear nothing about the housing agency anymore. There was no punishment, because somebody came in and erased it all. Anyway, hopefully they just put it on ice instead of just throwing it out. I don't know, because those rental companies do need to be called to the carpet about that. So the current energy he's stewing in is one thing too. And he feels like he has the same energy kind of that I had been living in, where it's like, don't you people know what I do? Don't you know how great I am? And it's like, no, people don't. That's why you have to tell them. And it's like, he was not that person. He was not the braggadocious person. He wasn't, like I said, he wasn't a person who said, look what I do. He was a person who said, look at what my team did. You know, he was that kind of leader. He still is that kind of leader, because he's still not going, guess what I did? Whereas you had, like in Kamala's book, she was like, I wish he told people the things that he had accomplished, because he accomplished a lot, right? So anyway, I don't even like to hear the word messaging, because it's such a business move, and the government's not a business. But at the same time, it's like, it's the storytelling, not necessarily the messaging, because the messaging is something quippy and something that you just drive home. It's like see, spot, run. And unfortunately, this country is below 5th grade reading comprehension, right? People can read words, they just can't comprehend them. So yeah, for some people, you do need a see, spot, run book. But for people who are intelligent, they need to know what you actually did. And so you don't need to go, we saved homes. No, what else did you do? They need to see the list. You know what I mean? So yeah, we can put a see, spot, run commercial. We should get Gnome's husband to do our ad next time. Ho, 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 you're going home. What? It's funny, not funny. You are absolutely correct. However, the intelligent people needed to know, what did you do? How did you help my life improve? You know, how is this not your fault? Right? The whole thing about chickens and eggs was not a Biden problem. It was literally price gouging. For one, the farms were price gouging. There was a black farmer who came here on TikTok, and he was like, y'all know all these birds don't have that flu thing, right? They're just price gouging. And they did. They were price gouging on those eggs, because not every damn farm. I'm like, how it spread all over the country? You know, like, how did it spread all over the country when you're the one who has the chickens? You're not getting chickens from other people. These are literally your birds. There's no way it should have spread out. Yeah. But anyway, same thing with the cow stuff. Like, how is it getting to every cow? We got a big ass country, y'all. I don't think if people understand that, but America is quite big. Like, quite big. We don't have the same problems smaller countries have, where, yeah, it would shut down all their things because they're in close proximity, their wind can carry. We don't have those issues. So we have a lot of people who are price gouging. And that's why they're getting their karma too. Like, everyone's getting their karma. So it's not just, you get what you deserve, right? You get what you deserve. Now the rest of us, though, damn. Why we got to be in the same team with you? Okay, so that's the energy he's stewing in, is that he had a lack of recognition. Like, he's really had people putting damn stickers on a gas tank. Like, here, I did that. No, child. The gas company did that. You know, it's like, y'all some fucking stupid people. But a lot of people, they were grifters too. They got paid. How many influencers on these platforms? I like that, actually. They are platforms, because a lot of people were put out to rut and strut, and get paid spreading misinformation and disinformation. So yes, platforms. So that, right? So that's the energy he's stewing in, is the fact that all his hard work just got undone. And that's the thing he also learned here is, again, this is the minor arcana death card. This is the 5 of Cups. It doesn't mean that he's the one who died in my dream, but what's happened is he's learned that the country he loved is no more. It really isn't. The people are still here, but the country itself has to be rebuilt. And the good thing about death, though, don't feel so sad for it, right? The good thing about death is it is just the beginning. We do get a chance to do this new and do this right. We get a chance to do this from a better foundation, one that is not built on chattel slavery, one that is not built on sexism and oppression. We do get to create something where we don't have to keep adding amendments to say that this human being has a right and this human being has a right. We get to bake that right in from the spine of our new Constitution. So we do get a chance to start over. Death is not to be mourned. It is to be celebrated because there's something new coming, right? But he has learned the disappointment in this country, like, ooh, huge. And he has grief over what has taken place. Once you grieve, you got to come back. And you see, once you grieve, you come back at the fight. Stages of grief is, I'm going to be sad in the beginning. Then I'm going to accept what happened. And then I'm going to be mad. And we're going to change this. I might have to order out of hand, but you experience it how you experience it. And so then we got all these cards here for outcome. So the initial card for outcome was the Queen of Swords in reverse. And there's this coldness and this bitterness with this. But what I really got from him is that isolation, right? I did get the isolation for him as far as like feeling alone. While he has a wife and everything, he still went through basically cancer alone. Like, there were still nights where she was asleep and he was still up dealing with this, right? But to clarify on that, I got the Fool card, which is really interesting to me because if I'm looking at this isolation, that's the outcome of, I guess his choices, honestly, right? Because it's weird because this reading was supposed to be, was he the one in the bed at the end of my dream? Was he the one that we were sounding the alarm about having died? And while we got the answer that no, it's not him, it still feels like it was to him. He does, right? He knows he may not live to see all the outcomes. So there is some kind of isolation here, some kind of bitterness towards it. But there was naivety, and he still has some, though. He still has naivety that we can rebuild. And you kind of need that, right? You need the foolishness of hope that we can rebuild. But again, still clarifying that things have come to an end. Things have come to an end. We are in a different cycle. But he's had a really hard time. And I don't think this is too bad, but it's still a bad thing. Where, there were missed opportunities. And I think there still are some missed opportunities. Like, he can still continue to speak up. So let's see if he continues to do that. But at the same time, he's not going to be here to see the end of this. He's not going to be here to see things get fixed, because I really honestly don't see a length of life for him. I could be wrong, obviously. But he's tired, to be really honest. And it feels like he is ready to go, just not until, like I said, he got some petty energy. I think he'll wait until the orange is gone, and then he'll go. And that's kind of like, it's interesting because we're getting, like, again, lack of direction. Again, nobody knows where to go. Here's a page again. So this is, again, something he was supposed to be learning. I don't think he's going to get a chance to learn it, which is like where to go, how to, he's not going to see the new beginning, basically. And that's sad. But then we have the Page of Wands here too. And it's kind of the same thing. Blocked creativity. This is creative block. Lack of inspiration. This is lack of direction. So it really does feel like he isn't long for this world. Yes. But he's not the one in my dream. Okay? He's not the one in my dream. He will... He will be right behind him, though. He's not. I don't know. That's the answer for that. Let's see the other guy. Let's see the other guy. All right, hold that reading in your head. Is an unexpected cabinet member? No. No. It was definitely someone of importance, not someone under importance. If you get my drift, right? It's definitely a top dog. I know people are saying that they are getting someone is going to is going to pass, but why do you be throwing cards? What am I talking about? I'm trying to see if there's a message to that, but I don't hear anything. Oh my God. And yes, my hair's still not done because I slept all day. Make sure everything is picked up. Okay, no cards. No cards. Oh no. I'm picking up my hair. I gotta use it tomorrow. Okay. And found it. All right. I did have one still down there. Oh, and there's my camera. I could have used that camera for YouTube instead of getting this phone. All right. Okay, let's get a significator for this other guy. You think one of them? I do know, like I said, we do have a couple of them who are going to self-check out as far as the energy was in a reading that we did. Hold on. Do I put the board up or do I? Nah, I'll just stick to it being one reading. Just making sure. Kegs, Barbie, Blondie, or Mikey. I don't know. I'm not feeling any of those. I'm more inclined to say Bradley because his life is over as far as he knows, you know? And we did that reading already. Okay. That's interesting that these have returned. I haven't yet pulled out a significator for the 40. I'm gonna just call him 45, okay? I can't call him 47. And he shouldn't have been 45 either. I'm gonna just call him 45. But the Page of Pentacles came back out, and then this time the Hermit, and the Hermit is looking for answers. So that's introspection, but also it's looking to shine a light on answers. But these are the first two to fall out, right? And this is that dementia card that we often get. So I'm not sure if that's going to count as him. We'll shuffle and see if this one comes out again. And then we had the Page of Swords, and that was weird because intellect is not his thing. So let's make sure we get this all nice and shuffled. All right, so now we're going for a significator for 45. I'm not calling him 47. For 45. In reference to my dream. So was it him? Was it him? Was it him? Was it him at the end of my dream? Is he the one we're about to sound the alarm for? Was it him? Was it him? Was it him? The difference in funerals is going to be astounding. All right, so let me get a significator for 45, please. Just, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So, this is in the split is the 5 of Pentacles, which is a big struggle card, which is being on the outside struggle card. And if you notice, it's the lady in red or person in red who's on the outside and hobbling behind is their child, missing a whole leg. I don't know this, but no, not missing legs in the back. I guess it's supposed to be a cast. On the other side of the split, I'm gonna need that board though. On the other side of the split, I thought this would have came up as his significator, but it didn't. But the other side of the split is who a lot of us have typically used as him sometimes, which is the Emperor card. However, the significator chosen for him is the anxiety card. And if you notice, he's in bed. Isn't that cool? This is like one of the only cards where a person's in bed. The other card is like a 4 of swords. But he's in bed. And anxiety, nightmares, depression, worry, fear. And one of the things he fears is death. Very solid of a significator. So that is going to be our foundation card. All right. So my dream was the person was in bed at the end and he was passed. So I think that is quite solid of a significator. I'm pretty sure this answers my question as well. But anyway, let's see what the challenge is. The challenge is a similar challenge for him, which is the reverse wheel of fortune. Let's continue to read so that we can just do it all together. So what's in the past? That's a lot of cards, please. Please reduce the number of cards. What's in the past? Do I keep it this way? Yes. Okay. What's in the past? King of Cups in the past. All right. What energy is he stewing in right now? What's the energy he's stewing in right now? It's a lot of cards. Please give me just one. What's the energy he's stewing in right now? Did I flip it? No. Okay. It's a lot of cards. Just give me one. Oh. A lot of cards. A lot of cards. It makes sense, but give me one that really represents the energy he's stewing in. What's the energy over him in relations to my dream? All right. Okay, I'll take 2. All right, so we have the Judgment card in reverse, and then we have the 8 of Cups in reverse. So those are our current energy cards. Let's see, to learn. What is he to learn? It's him, y'all. Y'all see that card? It's him. This is the Tower. And right underneath again, his energy. It's him. Outcome, please. Shit. Is that the outcome? Okay, I'm gonna set those to the side. I got the king, I got the 5 of Swords in reverse. And then I got the King of Wands in reverse. Can you clarify? And then I got the 5 of Cups, the Minor Arcana Death card, and a celebration. It's him. I'm getting goosebumps. It's him. It's him. My dream was about him. All right. Let's look at it. Yeah. That's pretty definite, right? That is so definite. And you know, 10s are completion cards and 5s are struggle cards, and he has king cards. He has 2 kings in here. Y'all, it was him. That dream is about him. Okay. So, Significator. Again, at the foundation of whether or not it was him in my dream, in bed, we literally got the Significator card of him being in bed. So, this has definitely been, I would say, his last few months of life right now, is the anxiety, is the fear of dying and whatnot. As I said, I don't believe we have seen him for months now. So it's a lot of AI. It's a lot of CIA stuff. It's for entertainment and information only. I really do not believe we've seen him at all, really, at all, over the last few months. So I've always gotten that he was quite incapacitated, and this feels like he's been stuck in bed for a while. So yes, the challenge to basically him leaving or going or whatever is the fact that it is coming to a close. He is at the end of his life cycle, but he doesn't want to be. He's resistant to that change. He was resistant or afraid of death. And there were a lot of missed opportunities, right? I won't say he had an opportunity to be better, because that's not one he would have taken in the first place. But the missed opportunities are basically he didn't get to enjoy anything. You know, he spent a life trying to get back whatever he had in the 30s, in his 30s or 40s, even 50s. But the rest of his life was just being a has-been, who was really good at grifting. In the past, though, I'm okay. In the past, it says emotional manipulation, moodiness, emotional detachment. It's a hard one for me to say is the past, unless he is past. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is actually who he is currently, if he's alive. If he's not alive anymore, then yeah, that was the past. Because he has been emotionally manipulating all this time. However, I just got also that this was his father, who really wasn't his father, by the way. You know, I guess the world would never know that. But this is also that dad thing, the person he could not please. He could not please that man for anything. And I guess if he knew that wasn't his father, then he would have realized he never would have been able to please that man. But anyway, again, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, but anybody with 2 eyes could see that was not his daddy. Anybody with 2 eyes could see that he was a little bit on the outside of the rest of the family, as far as biological DNA stuff. Anyway, I feel like there should have been a Maury test, but whatever. His dad was alive. They could have did a Maury test. They could have tried to see if he was 99.99%. Who knows? Maybe his dad did it in secret. Current energy that he's stewing in is, on one hand, it's the people who walked away from him, his MAGA people. You see that guy dressed in red? He walked away. But in the reverse for him, this is about fear. And again, even though the fears they've been letting out, like, oh, I don't think I'll make it into heaven. Even though that wasn't him, because that was AI, it still was him, because I'm sure he voiced it and they put it into his AI. So he was afraid of that. And it's interesting. It says current energy is unable to move forward. Well, guess what? If he actually is past already, he is unable to move forward. And the crazy thing is, we would not even know if he has. They will not tell us until they have to, until they finish or complete whatever they need to do. When I have my dreams, they are pretty much immediate. I don't know. I'm debating. I'm thinking I might do it with Nyx. I'm not sure. To try to see if he is already gone. I kind of think he is, though. Because the way these cards are coming out, it all feels like he's already done. But if it's not, then it's very soon. I mean, like, very soon. Because, again, if the current energy is unable to move forward, the current energy is feeling stuck, and then the current energy is fear of change, resistance to transformation. It's the fear of judgment, because y'all see this is a judgment card. This is the second major arcana to come up. This could be life review stuff right now. You know what I mean? Like I said, if he's not fully gone, he's knocking on the door. Allegedly. Except, what did he learn? It's over. I think he's gone. Like I said, if he's not, he's right there. Chaos, upheaval, revelation, sudden change. I think he's gone. You got it? You got that he's gone? I got a clear message while chopping celery for soup saying he's gone. Clear as day, about 2 p.m. And I just had this dream around 3-4. I think he's gone. And I'm 3-4. Wait, what time zone are you? I'm really interested in hearing what time zone you're in. Because I'm East Coast. Okay. So yeah, about that time, I had that dream between 3:14 and like 3:24 or 3:30. Because I know I was I was recording the video by 3:30, 3:29. So sometime between 3:14, when my son woke me up, I think I stayed up maybe another minute to talk to him. Like, yeah, oh my God, it was fast. So like 3:15 to like 3:25, 10 minutes. I had a complete dream about not celebrating, but announcing that he was gone. And the person who was supposed to announce was knitting or doing something, like making something, you know, instead of doing the announcement. And so I took the wand and did the announcement. So I think he's gone. So again, we get to the outcome here. And the outcome is 2 outcomes that came up. And again, a struggle card and people walking away. So this is almost like a ghost moment. You know what I mean? Oh gosh, so many goosebumps. You know, it's like people walking away from him. Nobody seeing him anymore. Like that kind of stuff, you know? But the words here are acceptance of loss. So it's like passing, like going over. Letting go of grudges, being humble, seeking peace. I gotta sneeze. Sorry, I'm trying to sneeze. It's not coming. All right, so like I say, 5s are struggle cards. But for him to accept the loss, for him to let go of a grudge, for him to be humble, for him to seek peace, he's transitioned or so fast into the transition. I do not want to be visited by him. No, I don't. I don't. Please don't. Please don't come. Please don't come. So like I said, these 2 came out exactly at the same time. So the King of Wands, though, is lack of vision, lack of leadership, overbearing, arrogance, impulsiveness. But he's upside down. And that's exactly how he would be. Is upside down. And he's completely dressed in red and orange. So this is that man, right? And he was creative. And that's the thing. He could have pursued a creative life instead of one that was just creative lies. He was into the arts. He was into those type of things. But the kind of father he grew up under would have seen creative as a weakness. And so instead of being who he really was, he was this dude that caused a lot of chaos. Okay. So, but that king is upside down, like Mussolini. Was it Mussolini or was it Stalin? One of them. Upside down. Um, so then also adding to that, for clarification reasons, I got the Minor Arcana Death card. His cups are spilled. And then I got celebration. Because what would be the outcome of him leaving? Go with God, Crispy. Okay, so was it him that I dreamt of? Yes. Yes, it was. That's crazy. And you know what's really interesting? 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cup, 4 cups. 4 cups. 3 major arcana. 2 swords. And the swords are part of his outcome and who he is, and you know, the anxiety, the foundation of him. And it doesn't get any more clear than this reading. It doesn't get any more clear. That was him. He's in my dream. He is, if he's not already gone, he is at the door. That's a good ass question. I don't know how to figure out that answer other than going into a channel. When will we know publicly? Who the hell knows? Maybe they'll try to give him a Christmas death, you know? Like, look, like Jesus, he died on Christmas. Wait, Jesus was born on Christmas. Well, not really, but when would we know? I don't know, princess. We can find out, though, if you want to choose from this thing. If you want to choose from the list. I don't just read from my chat. Realistically, how long could they hide it? Until somebody finds out. Seriously, realistically. Until they are perfectly ready to position Shady. And you know, Shady's been getting ready. So, and they're having a disagreement about that right now. This is the 3 of Pentacles, and that's the key word here, is disagreement, lack of communication, incompetence. So how long can we go? It could be a while before we find out. It absolutely could be a while before we find out that man is gone. They are too busy grifting. They are too busy trying to get as much money as they possibly can. That's why one of the children just got a contract with the government. Like, why all of a sudden he's getting a contract with the government? They got us suspended. Who knows how long they're going to do it? I have no idea. But it will come out. And it's going to come out, I think, before they're even ready. So this right here, it feels like the angel of death on one hand, but it also feels like a warrior angel that's like, your time is up. We're pouring out your cup. Like, you know what I mean? So, bruh. And those just fell out, Leah. All 4 of those cards just fell out. And I was like, okay, they answered the question. So yeah, they're going to try to keep us in suspense with it for a while. I don't know how long they're going to do it. It's so weird. All 3 of these cards at the end are even cards, except the first one. The first one was a 3, but then it's a 10, 12, 14. Patterns. 10, 12, 14. What are you trying to tell me then? 10, 12, 14. Fire cards are fast. Water cards can be fast. It's only Earth that's slow. And so the first two cards are Earth cards. So it's like while they're trying to figure this shit out and get as much money as they can, they're going to drag it. They're going to drag it. However, once somebody finds out, especially because it really is going to be so hard to get everybody on the same page because they're all there with their own agendas. But let the media find out, right? I gotta see what Fox had posted. I just heard that Fox let out some bad stuff about them, and I told y'all it was gonna happen. People were like, no, Fox still is talking. I was like, give it a second, because I already told you there's a media hit, right? But it's not only a media hit; it's to get you guys ready for the fact that he's not here anymore. So we got to stop saying he's amazing and start saying he's not. And they're just doing it very slowly. Well, actually, they're going quicker than they were before. But okay, so where do we want to take this reading now? Because I feel like, let's go to the media. I want to do a reading on the energy of the media. Let's see if they're going to actually say something. Say something. I'm getting over you. Okay, thank you. Wait, that's a good song. It actually fits. Yeah, so we're going to take it to the media. Let's do a media energy read. And by media, I'm really only talking about Bezos media and Murdoch's media. Now, Murdoch owns Fox, the Fox News channel. He owns a lot. Fox News channel, I think he owns, what's that? Not the Washington Post, the other one. I always forget what the other one's called. What's the other one's called? Washington Post. The other one that's leaking this news. Wall Street Journal. Thank you. Wall Street Journal. So yeah. So they have the Wall Street Journal that those two that they own. Bezos owns Washington Post. And then Murdoch owns, I think he owns the Wall Street Journal. And so those two are laying on the attack when it comes down to the Navy boat thing. So that's just really interesting. Hey, Candy. Candy, you just missed the reading we did. Oh my God. That reading was wild. It was so good. But it's going to be up on YouTube. You'll be able to see it because the YouTube is currently streaming now. And it was towards, I don't know, like 30 minutes in or something. All right, let's get to the media. I want to look at the media as far as Bezos and Murdoch. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, that flew out. The Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is usually about, it's so funny, I'm talking about two men here. Two very intelligent men, by the way. And swords are intelligence. But I'm talking about these two men, oh gosh, who have been keeping all information from us, right? But it says here, indecision, stalemate, avoiding confrontation, refusing to make decisions, inner turmoil. So I actually don't feel, interesting, because underlying here is the Six of Cups in reverse again, which is stagnation, emotional baggage, and inability to move on. So what are you saying? Because it doesn't feel like they're having a refusal to make decisions. It feels like they're making a decision. They're letting this information out. Oh, okay. So how much and how intense of information? Oh, Candy, you didn't know I had a dream, girl? Oh yeah, that's the dream we were talking about. We did a reading about the dream. The dream where I dreamt the dream. Where I dreamt that somebody, big dog, died, and we were trying to figure out which one was which. Well, the dream, the reading just explained it. The reading just explained it was 45. I can't call him 47. Look at that. It's new beginnings time as we talk about this dream. Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she said she got about 2:30 or something while she was just, when you're doing like mindless activities, your brain just be receiving messages, And so she said she was cutting celery and boom, got it. So my dream is the 45 is gone. Oh, Jesus. The goosies. Verification and validation. Goosies. Yeah, he's gone. I don't think he's still here.